I didn't realize I was the villain in someone else's story until I was standing in the Roblox Corp parking garage at 2 a.m., watching my entire life burn down through my phone screen. The message was simple. It was always the plan, John. You were perfect. From Sarah. And just like that, I understood I'd been played from day one. Let me back up. 6 months ago, I was nobody. Just another gray-suited middle manager at Roblox Corp, stuck in a cubicle on the 14th floor with a view of another cubicle. My avatar? Default John Doe skin. No limited items, no flex-worthy accessories. Just existing. I'd been at the company for 8 years and I couldn't even afford a Dominus with my salary. That's how invisible I was. My boss, Builderman, yeah. The Builderman ran the corporate division like a dictatorship. 6-foot avatar with every rare item you could imagine. That smugness radiating through his pixelated face. He'd walk past my desk without even a nod. To him, I was furniture. Disposable. The only person who ever noticed me was guest 666. This mysterious coworker who always wore the old guest skin, never spoke in meetings, just observed. Something about them made my circuits glitch, but I ignored it. Big mistake. That Tuesday changed everything. I was working late, surprise, when she walked into the break room. Sarah, I'd seen her exactly once before at last year's holiday party, hanging off Builderman's arm like an expensive accessory. But tonight? She was alone. Her avatar was stunning, long, flowing hair. Designer clothes that probably cost more Robux than I made in a year, but her face. God, her face looked so sad. "You're John, right?" she said, her voice soft. I nearly dropped my coffee. Yeah. John Doe. I've seen you around. You work for my husband. My stomach dropped. Oh, right. Builderman. I mean, yes, I work in his division. She laughed this beautiful, broken sound. Don't worry. I'm not here to spy, just needed to get out of the house. He works late too, you know. Except he's not actually working. She paused, those digital eyes meeting mine. Do you know what it's like to be married to someone who sees you as a trophy? A status symbol to show off at corporate events? And just like that, she had me. We started talking. Just talking, I swear. She'd show up at the office around 9 p.m., we'd grab coffee in the break room, and she'd tell me about her life. How Builderman barely spoke to her. How he'd spent 50,000 Robux on limited items last month, but complained when she wanted a new outfit. How he'd humiliated her at dinner parties, treating her like she was stupid. I listened. For the first time in my pathetic existence, someone needed me. Someone saw me. You're different, John, she told me one night, 3 weeks in. You actually care about people. You're real. The way she said it made my avatar's heart race, if I even had a heart. But here's what I didn't know Guest 6 was watching. Every single time. Week 5, everything shifted. Sarah and I were in the parking garage. She wanted to show me her new car. Some luxury vehicle Builderman bought to make up for missing their anniversary. We were laughing about something stupid when suddenly she stopped, turned to me, and her whole expression changed. John, can I be honest with you? Always? I think about you all the time. When I'm home pretending to be the perfect wife, I'm thinking about these conversations, about someone who actually sees me as a person. She moved closer. Is that wrong? My code was screaming red flags. This is your boss's wife. This will destroy you. But when she looked at me like that, like I was the only person in her world, no, I whispered. It's not wrong. She kissed me. Right there in the parking garage, security cameras probably recording everything. She kissed me. And I kissed her back. That's when everything changed. The affair god, I hate that word, started innocently enough. Secret meetups at obscure Roblox games where no one from the company would find us. We'd explore horror games, pretending to be scared, but really just needing an excuse to be close. She'd message me on alt accounts, nothing traceable. We have to be careful, she'd say. If Builderman finds out, he'll destroy you. He has connections everywhere. I believed her. Of course I believed her. 2 months in, I was completely gone. I'd spent my savings buying her gifts, limited items, exclusive accessories. Things I could never afford for myself. She'd act surprised, grateful, kiss me and tell me I was nothing like him. That I was special. Meanwhile, at work, Builderman started noticing me in the worst way. John Doe, he said one morning, appearing at my cubicle like a nightmare. We need to talk about your performance. My blood went cold. My performance? I've exceeded every metric this quarter. Metrics don't capture everything. Your attitude lately. Distracted, unfocused. He leaned in close. Problems at home? No, sir. No problems. His avatar smiled, but nothing about it was friendly. Good, because we're a family here at Roblox Corp, and family members don't keep secrets. He walked away, and I swear I heard him laugh. Sarah was frantic when I told her. He knows. He has to know. John, we need to be more careful. Maybe we should stop. Stop? Her eyes went wide. You want to stop? I thought you loved me. I do. I do, but then trust me. I'll handle him. Just give me time. That's when guest 666 appeared in my DMs. You're making a mistake. Just that. Nothing else. I stared at the message for 10 minutes, paranoia crawling up my spine. How did they know? What did they know? I showed Sarah. She barely glanced at it. Probably just office gossip. Ignore it. But I couldn't ignore it. Guest 666 started showing up everywhere. In the cafeteria when Sarah and I would accidentally bump into each other. In the parking garage, watching from across the office. Who is that? I asked her one night. Who's who? Guest 666. That coworker who's always around. She looked at me like I was crazy. John, there's no one at the company who uses a guest skin. That's like corporate suicide. Are you okay? Was I okay? I didn't know anymore. The stress was crushing me. Sneaking around, lying to everyone, watching my boss circle closer like a shark. And Sarah, God, Sarah was getting more demanding, more intense. Leave your wife, she'd say. Except I didn't have a wife. I told her that. Sarah, I'm not married. She'd blink, then laugh. Right, sorry. I meant, leave your life. Run away with me. We could go to Europe. Start over. With what money? I've spent everything on me, I know. Her voice turned cold. Maybe that was a mistake. These moments scared me, these flashes where she'd become someone else entirely. But then she'd apologize, cry, tell me the stress was getting to her too, and I'd forgive her. Every single time. 3 months in, Builderman called me into his office. The executive floor was intimidating, all marble and glass and expensive limited items displayed like trophies. He sat behind a desk that probably cost more Robux than my car. That avatar face, unreadable. John? Sit. I sat. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to think very carefully before answering. He folded his hands. Are you sleeping with my wife? The world stopped. My code froze. Every possible response jammed in my throat. No. No, sir. I don't even know your wife. Interesting. Because my security team has footage of you two in the parking garage, multiple times. Very friendly. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. It's not we were just talking. She was upset, and you thought you'd comfort her? How noble. He stood up, walking around the desk. Let me tell you what's going to happen, John. You're going to stay away from Sarah, completely. No more late-night coffee breaks, no more secret messages, and if you don't, I will erase you from this company, from this game. You'll be worse than a guest, you'll be deleted. Sir, please get out of my office. I stumbled back to my desk, shaking. It was over. Everything was over. I pulled out my phone to message Sarah, to warn her, to figure out what to do next. She'd blocked me on everything. Panic set in. Full, absolute panic. I tried her alt accounts all blocked. I drove to her house. The security system wouldn't let me through the gate. I even tried contacting her through mutual friends, but no one knew what I was talking about. Sarah who? 3 days of silence. 3 days of me slowly losing my mind, showing up to work like a zombie, while Builderman watched me with that satisfied smirk. 3 days of wondering if I'd imagined the whole thing. Then guest 666 appeared at my cubicle. You need to see something, they said. First words they'd ever spoken to me directly. Their voice was distorted, artificial. I don't have time for, they dropped a folder on my desk. Physical paper, which nobody used anymore. Inside were screenshots, messages, financial records. My hands shook as I read through them. Messages between Sarah and Builderman. Recent messages from 3 days ago, from yesterday. Baby, it's working perfectly. He's completely broken. How much did he spend on you total? Around 45,000 Robux, maybe more. I stopped counting. That's my girl. The bet was 50K. Think you can push him a bit further? Already blocked him. He's probably losing his mind right now, LOL. I looked up at guest 666, my vision blurring. What is this? The truth. They've been running this scam for 2 years. Different employees every time. Sarah seduces them, gets them to spend everything they have, then disappears. Builderman uses the drama as an excuse to fire them or demote them. Office politics 101. But why me? You were perfect, lonely, desperate for attention, easy to manipulate. They tilted their head. I tried to warn you. The folder had more. 8 other employees. Same pattern, same outcome. One guy had attempted suicide after losing his job and life savings. Another had fled the country. All of them destroyed by the same couple. The folder had more. 8 other employees. Same pattern, same outcome. One guy had attempted suicide after losing his job and life savings. Another had fled the country. All of them destroyed by the same couple. Why are you showing me this? I whispered. Because you're not the villain here, John. But you could be the hero. Guest 666 leaned closer. If you're willing to do something about it. The plan was insane, completely, absolutely insane, but I had nothing left to lose. Guest 666, whose real name turned out to be Alex, a former IT security specialist who'd been Guest 001 victim of Sarah and Builderman's scheme, had been building a case for months. Documentation, proof, recordings, everything we needed to take them down, but we needed one more thing, a confession. They're cocky, Alex explained. They think they're untouchable. If we can get Sarah to brag about it on record, we can take this to HR, better yet, to the press. I had to talk to her again, face to face, and I had to make her think she'd won. It took 2 weeks to set up. I sent a message from a new account, pouring my heart out, talking about how I understood now, how she'd shown me I was a fool for believing someone like her could love someone like me, how I just wanted closure. She took the bait. We met at a quiet Roblox cafe game, one of those aesthetic places that people used for dates and screenshots. Sarah showed up looking flawless as always, that smile playing on her lips like she was meeting an old friend. John, you look terrible. Yeah, well, that's what happens when your life implodes. She ordered a virtual coffee, leaning back in her chair. I'm sorry things ended the way they did, but you understand, right? It was never going to work between us. You and me, we're from different worlds. The recording device in my inventory was running. Alex was listening from a safe distance. I just want to understand why, I said, keeping my voice steady. Why me? What did I do to deserve this? She laughed, that same beautiful broken sound that had hooked me in the first place. Except now I heard it for what it was, a performance. But honestly, you were easy. Builderman and I have this thing we do. A game. We find the saddest, most pathetic employee we can, and I make them fall in love with me. It's fun. Watching you all scramble to impress me, spending money you don't have, lying to your friends and family. The desperation is, she sighed, intoxicating. How many? I managed to ask. You're number 9. Well, 8 if you don't count the one who killed himself. That one didn't really count as a successful run. My hands clenched under the table. And Builderman knows he's in on it? Baby, it was his idea. We started doing this after we got bored with our marriage. It's the only thing that makes us feel alive anymore. Watching little nobodies like you implode. She leaned forward, her avatar's eyes sparkling with malice. You should have seen your face when you realized I'd blocked you. That was my favorite part. That was my... Got it, Alex's voice whispered in my ear through a private channel. That's enough. I stood up and Sarah's expression flickered confusion, then concern. Where are you going? We're not done. Yeah, we are. I pulled out my phone, showing her the recording app. Every word, Sarah. Every single word. Her face went white, then red, then twisted into something ugly and raw. You recorded me? You psycho? That's illegal. I'll sue you. I'll ruin you too late. I'm already ruined. You made sure of that. I headed for the exit. Enjoy your last few days at Roblox Corp. I hear HR is very interested in patterns of workplace harassment. The fallout was nuclear. By the time I walked into work the next morning, security was already escorting Builderman out of the building. Sarah was nowhere to be seen, apparently. She'd fled the city when the news broke. The recordings had gone to HR, then to the company's legal team, then to the press. By noon, it was trending on Twitter. Roblox Corp executive and wife run elaborate psychological scam on employees. The 8 other victims came forward. Support groups formed. Legal action was filed. The whole thing became a massive scandal that shook the company to its core. And me? I got promoted. Turns out, taking down a corrupt executive makes you look pretty good. They offered me Builderman's old position, head of the corporate division. Better pay, better office. A Dominus appeared in my inventory as a thank you from upper management, but I turned it down. All of it. 6 months later, I'm sitting in a small apartment in a new city, working as a freelance consultant for indie Roblox developers. My avatar is still John Doe. I never changed it. Some scars don't need to be visible to be real. Guest 606. Alex and I still talk. They're heading the new ethics committee at Roblox Corp, making sure this never happens again. Sometimes we laugh about how insane the whole thing was. Sometimes we don't. I got a message last week. Unknown number. You think you won, but you just made everything worse. We're coming back. and next time we'll be smarter. I deleted it, blocked the number. But I'd be lying if I said it didn't keep me up at night. Because here's the thing about manipulation. Once you've been gaslit, once someone's twisted your reality until you couldn't trust your own thoughts, you never fully recover. Every relationship, every conversation, every "I care about you" gets filtered through the question, is this real or am I being played again? Sarah and Builderman were arrested 3 months ago. They're facing multiple charges: fraud, harassment, conspiracy. Their trial starts next spring. I'll probably have to testify. Face them again, see that smile? But I'm ready. Because I'm not that desperate, lonely middle manager anymore. I'm not the person who could be so easily manipulated by someone pretending to see me. I see myself now, and that's enough. Sometimes, late at night, I wonder if any of it was real. If somewhere in all those lies, Sarah felt something genuine. Even for a moment. Even accidentally. Then I remember her laugh. That cold, calculated laugh when she talked about the guy who killed himself. How it didn't count. No, it was never real. I was never real to her. Just a game. Just a number. But I'm real now, and I'm still standing. That's the part they didn't count on, the part they couldn't manipulate or control or destroy. I survived them, and every day I keep surviving is its own kind of revenge. The best revenge, actually, because they're in prison, and I'm free. They're headlines, and I'm healing. They lost everything trying to break me. And I'm still here holding all the pieces of myself they tried to shatter, putting them back together one by one. Maybe I'll never be whole again. Maybe the cracks will always show, but broken things can still be beautiful, still be strong.